And I feel honest.
Good morning, everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. It is 9 a.m. and our agenda is very long. Um, so I'm going to call this meeting to order at 9 a.m. and we'll start with our land acknowledgement. Associated Students recognizes and acknowledges the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of the Fernandina Tataviam Band of Mission Indians that is now occupied by our campus of California State University Northridge. Honors their elders past and present and the descendants who are citizens of the Fernandina Tataviam Band of Mission Indians. Associated Students recognizes that the tribe is still here and we are committed to lifting up their stories, culture, and community. Now moving on to roll call.
Vice President Emiliano Aragon. Senator Arias Gomez.
Here.
Senator Atias.
Here.
Senator Basilio. Senator
Present.
Benoit. Oh, I'm sorry. Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Here.
Senator Contreras.
Here.
Senator Cunanan.
Here.
Senator Dominguez. Senator Garcia.
Here.
Senator Gavino. Senator Kachidia.
Here.
Senator Kodka.
Present.
Senator Mane. Senator Luna.
Here.
Senator Quiroga.
Here.
Senator Radianov.
Here.
Senator Ramirez.
Here.
Senator Umana.
Here.
Senator Vicente.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you so much. Now we'll move on to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Quiroga?
I move to approve the agenda for February 23rd, 2026.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Cunanan. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, if there are no objections, we will approve the agenda unanimously. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. We will now move over to the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Arias Gomez?
I move to approve the minutes for February 23rd, 2026.
Thank you. Is there a second? Oh. Can you restate your motion? It was supposed to be 16th. Restate the motion.
I move to approve the minutes for February 16th, 2026.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Contreras. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, if there are no objections, we will approve the minutes unanimously. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. We will now move over to special presentations, starting with our provost update with Provost Kamaraju.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to join all of you and share some updates. I do get to meet your President Saravia and your Vice President Aragon every month, but I also wanted to come back and meet with you at least once each semester, if not more frequently. And I know you always have a full agenda, so thank you for giving me a few minutes just to share some updates on what's going on within the Provost area. And I also wanted to give you some things that are happening at the Chancellor's office level that sort of impact all of us. So first of all, I wanted to let you know that in terms of advisement, we're continuing to make investments in hiring more advisors and ensuring that anyone who leaves is replaced. And we're also, the space for advisement has also been remodeled. And so we've invested in remodeling the space where the advisors actually sit and where students come to meet with the advisors. And we'll continue to do that as we move towards a caseload model of advisement. We believe that caseload will be in place by fall of 2026. In fall of 2025, half the colleges were there. And then this spring, the rest of them are coming to that model. So by fall 2026, it'll be more steady. All these last couple of years have been kind of like in flux as we're moving towards a case sort of model approach. And what that is, a caseload model indicates that every student who comes in will have an assigned advisor, and that advisor will stay with the student for the whole journey that they are there. And we're trying to group the caseloads by major, so that all those in a similar major have one advisor. So that's the model, and we are doing our best to ensure that every student, a new student as well as a full-time freshman as well as transfer students, so everybody will have an advisor. So that's in terms of the advising. And then I also want to appreciate the senators who are attending UPBG. So this is the University Planning and Budget Group meeting. So I really appreciate the participation of our senators. They give reports or updates. And then this Friday, there is a meeting with the president because we are taking the input of UPBG members in terms of how we might want to use the philanthropic dollars that we have received recently. We have been very fortunate to receive a large amount from Mackenzie Scott, and this is the second amount that she has given us of 63 million, along with 40 million earlier, and that is because she really believes in the work that we are doing here at CSUN. And so that, along with other philanthropic dollars that we have attracted, as you know, the Andrew J. Anagnost College of Engineering Computer Science received a large amount, and then Maple Hall is also going to be a named building because of philanthropic dollars that we have attracted for that. So given all of this, there will be a meeting where we get input in terms of how these funds would be expended. We shared at UPBG 4 categories that we would be looking to think about and get input. One is student success, faculty and staff success, research and creative activities, and then capital projects. So these are the 4 large areas that we'll be inviting input and discussion. So that's something that I want to mention. I also appreciate that we have our student AS actively engaging with CSymposium organizers. We have that event coming up on April 10th, and it's really exciting to have that engagement and synergy. So because we know it is a place where 500 to 600 students present the research, but to have active engagement of AS in that work is exciting. I also want to share with you that you all are familiar with GI 2025, the initiative from the Chancellor's Office, where for last 10 years we've been trying to achieve a sort of targeted graduation rates as well as retention rates. So now from the Chancellor's Office, the new student success framework that is being sort of imagined, conceptualized, and will be rolled out soon is really an emphasis on career readiness for students. So it's not just that we retain students and graduate them, but after graduation, are we placing them in graduate school if that's what they want, or into employment if that's their preference? Are we, as a university, taking that responsibility and ensuring that? And what data do we have? What are the data? And how we could use those data then to demonstrate that we are being successful in terms of student success. So I just want to let you know that that's work that we are working on. We're already looking at, okay, our curriculum, like some degrees, they have built-in capstone experiences that prepare students. Some degrees have a lot of internship experiences, some have less. So we're looking at all of that and thinking, how can we think about our curriculum so that we position our students in the best way possible for next steps? Not just leave it on the student, say, okay, here's your degree, go figure. But we are saying, here's your degree, and we are glad that you now have your next step already figured out because of the work that we have done here at CSUN. So I just wanted to share all of these with you. And I want to remind you of my ask last time I was here, is that I really want each of you to get to know your dean, your college dean, your associate dean, your department chair. That's also part of your leadership training, is to know who is sort of, at the next level, and then be engaged, have opportunities to share your concerns and so on, so that those can be addressed at that level. Because sometimes I met with students and they say, oh, in this particular major, there is this problem. I'll lean back with the dean and say, okay, can we address this? But I really would like for it to happen much earlier, not wait for an opportunity to meet with me, but earlier on, be in connection. And at the same time, I meet with my deans every other week, and I'm also telling them the same thing. Know your senators, reach out to them, and talk to them. It doesn't always have to be when there's a problem. You can just have a conversation and stay connected, so that when there is a problem, you have this relationship that you can draw on and say, Dean, here's an issue that the students are facing, and the deans can help. So I'm going to pause there. I don't know if there's any time at all for questions.
Are there any questions from the board for our provost? Vice President Jimena Aragon?
Good morning, Provost Kamaraju. Thank you for being here. I know that in our last meeting, we discussed that not only student enrollment has increased, but also student retention. Has there been a study where we kind of could indicate what has changed that have made students stay at CSUN longer?
Yeah, thank you for that question. This is a lot of work that we have been doing, and I'll just share, because you asked me, I'll just share a little bit, because this is something we're engaged in with every day, and it's on top of mind. So when I came to CSUN, I saw that a few years ago, our retention rate was 80%, which means the way the retention is defined technically is the first-time freshmen who come in the fall. How many of them are there the next fall? So it was around 80%. And then it kind of dropped during the pandemic. And when I came, that first year, it stayed flat, and then it went down, even though we were working so hard. I'm glad to say for the students who came in 2024, when we look at 2025, it's gone up by 1.3%. So we retained, if it had stayed flat, if you compare it to stay flat, you actually went up. That difference is about 70 plus students in terms of headcount. So to your question, like what are the things, if we were to do a study to see what it is? It's actually many different things. It's hard to identify, but I can just enumerate a few things. So the first spring semester that I was here, that fall, we looked at the students who came the prior fall who were on academic notice. And that was about 29%. Then next spring, it was 28%. This spring is almost 27. So it's decreasing, but still an alarming amount. So what we're doing is for these students who are on academic notice, we're doing a special outreach. We're reaching out to all students. By we, I mean a team, a core team in each college, the associate dean, the director of advising, and a graduation and retention specialist. Based on the funds we received for GI 2025, CSUN had hired a graduation and retention specialist for each academic college. So now their assignment is very clear. This is what you have to do. In the fall, reach out to all the students, get to know them. So some of them are going to the U100 classes and meeting their students. So in the spring, when a student is struggling or having some difficulty, how can we assist them? That's just one thing. Last fall, we introduced an early warning system that used to be here, EAB Early Alert, and we brought it back for U100. So in the summer, we had all the faculty go through training so that when they notice the student is not coming, not turning assignments, seems to be struggling, that they alert the graduation retention specialist who then reaches out to the student. We also have Canvas Insights, where in the first few weeks, if students don't open their web page for the course, they get a friendly reminder that is automatic, saying, hey, Mira, you didn't open your website, your web page for your course. So I'm just saying that. And then we also have our partners in various divisions, including IT and student affairs, and admin and finance, like lifting holds for students. All of these areas are working together, meeting regularly and saying, okay, what are the obstacles our students face? How can we lift them? So when I say go talk to your deans, that way we'll find out what some obstacles are, so that we can pay attention and be sensitive to that and see how best. Sometimes we cannot solve the problem overnight, but it's on our radar. We are thinking about how to address it. So we're going to continue that work.
Okay, thank you. And then a follow-up question with that. We know that from the strategic plan, the CSU strategic planning, a lot of it that's being revised at CSUN is that part of what's going to happen after graduation. Do you envision including those implementations within the curriculum or of certain classes, Or do you envision the focus being how can we improve the resources like Career Center that we have?
Absolutely. They're going to be at so many levels because, as I just explained, to address retention, you can't just do one thing and then sit back and think it's going to happen because there are so many variables that influence that outcome. So, for example, career readiness. While we are thinking about career readiness, we are also aware that AI is in the air and that our students who are graduating just even this May, students who are graduating this May, they're going to go into a market that is expecting them to have certain skills. Are we preparing them for that? How do we go about doing that right away and then down the road? So we're looking at a lot of those aspects and providing resources, not just to the career services, but also I've talked to the deans. I said, look at the curriculum. Look early on, what can we do for our students? How do we get to connect with our students and let them know what the resources are? Working with the Career Center as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any, oh, Senator Cabrera Figueroa?
Hi, I just wanted to ask a little bit more about the caseload management model that you're planning for advisement. So I know that some colleges have already started to see similar progress in the model. What is the pictured end goal and proportion of students per counselor workload for when this project is completed?
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you asked that question. So the gold standard would be around 300 students per advisor. When I came, I understood that some advisors were seeing 600, 700 students. We are starting at 350 right now. But as we get, because we don't have enough advisors, if we were to make it like 200, we won't have enough. We need to first get the advisors in place and have that rolled out. And over time, reduce that. So right now it is 350, but sometimes it can be a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on how many majors there are. Let's say if, say music has 200 majors, then that particular advisor may get music as well as some theater students to get to that number. And we'll always have like someone they will have cross training. So if your advisor has to take some leave for a little while, you're not left stranded. So we'll have that.
And then just a follow up to that too, in a situation where, let's say, the population of a certain college drastically changes in 1 year, would the counselors from that college be transferred to another college, or what would be the best remedial solution in that situation?
So when you say drastically, you're saying imagine if it reduced? Yeah. So every day, even as we speak, we're constantly adjusting. Constantly. So it's not, we're not going to wait for that to happen. We're always like looking at the data and we're projecting and imagining, okay, what this happens, what does that happen? I'll just give an example. Like, oh, the last year we've seen international students drop. So we had lots of advisors in the hub for international students. But as we saw that happening, we said, okay, let's deploy to where we need so-and-so left right away, or someone has, suddenly fallen sick. So we are deploying. So we are trying to be as nimble as possible so that we can address that. Because sometimes it can go down, it can come back up. So we have to be sort of ready for that kind of movement. So we just want to think of advisement as part of an ecosystem. So there are not like one-off decisions. You're trying to think of the big picture and addressing it within that. Good question.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Okay. Thank you so much, Provost Kamaraju. We really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you. I did forget to mention something that I promised myself I'll remember to say. This Saturday, I was able to be with a group of students who are performing 12th night. And it was a fantastic performance. And best part was after the performance, I was able to go backstage and meet the performers. So it was the highlight of my weekend.
Vice President Geminiano Aragon.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Okay, we will now move over to our next special president. Oh, Senator Gavino.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Senator Dominguez.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Anyone else? Okay, Thank you. We will now move over to our next special presentation with CSUN Athletics.
All right. Hi, my name is Talia Harper. I'm a kinesiology student here. I'm in my 4th year, and I also play on the women's tennis team. I just want to say thank you for allowing me the chance to speak really quick with you guys. I wanted to just address some things with my team, as well as the BSA or the Black Student Athlete Association. In terms of my team, we're really grateful for the students who are able to make it out and watch us play. We would like to see, and hopefully if you are available, just to come out to our home matches more. I know tennis isn't the sport that most people think of when they say, oh, let's go to a game today, let's go to a game this weekend. But I promise we work just as hard as basketball or volleyball, and we are just as fun to watch. So we would love and appreciate for you guys to show up and watch us play. And for the BSA or the Black Student Athlete Association, I know that the student athlete is in the name, but there are a lot of events that we host that aren't just exclusive to student athletes and could be very beneficial to anybody. For example, a couple weeks ago, they hosted a screening of Allison Felix, who she is an Olympian track athlete. They hosted a screening of her documentary called She Runs the World. And then afterwards, she came out with her brother, who is also her manager, to answer some questions, have a Q&A. That is open to anybody on campus. I personally attended. It was a really amazing experience, and I would definitely recommend you keep your eyes open for events like that. Last week, we also had a Black student athlete panel, which again is open to anyone to come and watch. I was on the panel along with about 4 other athletes, just talking about our experiences not only as an athlete, but as a Black student here, or a Black person. Yeah, again, all the events that I've attended from the BSA are always very educational and fun. So I definitely would recommend, if you are able to go, you can go and attend. That's all I really had to say. So thank you.
Thank you, Talia. We will now move over to our next special presentation with RHA executives.
Hello, associate students in AS Standing. My name is Christian Loza. I am the current Resident Halls Association president,
Hello, everybody. I'm Richard Kroga. I am the Residence Hall Association Vice President.
and I'm here to talk about the Resident Halls Association and a little bit about student housing as a whole.
All right, so student housing at CSUN has around 3,500 plus residents every year, ranging from 25 different residential buildings, community operations 24/7, and university village apartments for family housing as well across the way.
RHA formally represents students living in the University Park Apartments and the University Village Apartments. Our responsibility is threefold. We advocate for residents' needs, we maintain direct communications with Department of Student Housing, and provide structured forums for informing, sharing, and discussions. In alignment with that mission, we operate under 4 core tenets. First, promoting a healthy academic and social environment. Second, advocating consistently for resident needs. Third, connecting with residents with campus-wide resources. And fourth, fostering an inclusive community of future leaders. RHA is directed by the Executive Board, which includes the Resident Halls Association President, Vice President, Finance Manager, Recruitment and Training Manager, Marketing Media Manager, and Programming Manager. Beyond the Executive Board, our leadership structure includes the Resident Hall members. RHMs are selected student leaders who serve as advocates for residential communities. They act as liaison between residents and student housing staff. Think of them as kind of like mini senators. They meet bi-weekly with the RHA Executive Board to discuss programming ideas, community concerns, and feedback from residents. Many of our RHMs are first-year students. For many, this is their first leadership role or job experience, and this position is voluntary. And students are often used as a stepping stone to become resident advisors or using it to pursue other paid campus leadership roles. It's both an advocacy role and a leadership development opportunity.
As Christian mentioned, we have our biweekly town halls and open forums as well. So these biweekly town halls are an opportunity for the residents to come to speak to the RHA directly and about different issues happening on campus. We've had issues talk about just different like health and safety concerns, like the laundry rooms are too messy, or there's a lot of trash everywhere they would want to see picked up, or a lot of it sometimes also is roommate concerns, which doesn't really pertain to us, but we still do allow them to come and talk and let out their feelings and their frustrations, so that way they have something to talk to, because sometimes the RAs are their first point of contact, but they come to us still just to try and let it all out in general. We also have a lot of campus partners come and present at these town halls. We had I recently talked about the election AS elections in these town halls. We have our Matador Eats come a lot from GMOs. We also just different other like from the TUC, and just different people come to our town halls to come and inform residents about different initiatives and events happening within housing or just on campus in general. One of our main collaborations, like I said, is our GMOs, which is the dining hall on campus. The head chef and service people come to our town halls and kind of listen to our residents about different food options, allowing more options, broadening their scopes of different things they want to see in GMOs, vegan options, gluten-free options, anything that pertains to the food in general. Just the students have the opportunity to talk to the head chef directly and explain these concerns. And then also as well, we have our open forum Q&A, which, like I said, mentioned before, is just open for residents to come and just tell us anything they want to tell us about their experience in housing, ways it can be better and ways it can be improved.
Something unique about our RHA compared to others, we work directly with the student housing leadership and like admin. Our office is located on the same floor as admin, so if we have any concerns or anything like that, we could walk over to the office and directly talk to the people who are in charge.
All right. In housing, we also have what's called affinity and specialized communities. So affinity groups are just different groups that are run by the community directors in housing for different students. We have First to Go, which is for all first generation college students. We have Black Girl Magic, Hood Scholars, Latinas Rising, Hombres Redefined, We Are Pride, and many more that I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but we have many different community, little affinity groups that plan their own specialized events. I believe this Thursday, our We Are Pride group is doing a movie showing in one of our community centers. But all the different affinity groups have different events throughout the entire week. They're doing loteria, they do like salsa nights, they do crafts nights, they do anything like that. I believe Black Girl Magic last semester did like a lotion and like bath salts kind of night. So you came in, they were able to make different bath salts, different lotions, and just different things like for like self-care. So similar to what we do, they also plan their own mini events for those specialized groups. Also similar to AS here, we also are regionally and nationally affiliated with the NACUR, which is the National Association of College and University Residence Halls. NACUR consists of over 450 plus member institutions, including all of North America and some affiliate schools in other countries as well, which I believe is Mexico, Australia, and other different countries around the world. But specifically, CSUN is part of the PACUR, which is Pacific Affiliate of College and University Residence Halls. PACUR consists of Alaska, British Columbia, California, Hawaii, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, and the Yucatan Territory. At these conferences and for these affiliations, we have an NCC, which is the National Communications Coordinator, which acts as the main liaison between the region and our campus as well. And I, as vice president, am fulfilling that role as liaison. So actually, if we'll go to the next one. For our conferences, so recently we just went to our regional leadership conference, which is the RLC. Our Bell members were able to engage with many workshops that enrich their leadership skills and learn about new initiatives that we can apply to our campus. And while they were doing that, Christian and I were in different meetings talking about different legislation that pertain to the region, different things about the policy book that they're trying to fix, and just different other important legislation that pertains to our region. And then we also have our national conference coming up, located at Texas A&M University, which we hope to attend later this year. We're still in the play stages of that, but we really think it will be a good opportunity for our students to go, our board members to not only interact with our region, but also the national one as well. So we will meet people from different other states, not only PACUR, but other states as well.
Through our work locally and our engagement at the national housing conferences, RHA continues to bring its best practices in leadership development back to CSUN. Student housing operates 24/7, full-time living communities serving as approximately 3,500 residential students. This population is unique. Residential students experience campus differently. Their academic, social, and personal lives are deeply interconnected with CSUN. Their needs and engagement patterns differ from our broader commuter population. RHA works in direct partnership with student housing leadership to ensure those voices are represented. Moving forward, we see strong opportunities for intentional collaboration between RHA, AS, and other campus partners to better support this community. We look forward to strengthening our partnership. I'm happy to take any questions.
Senator Umana.
I just wanted to say thank you for the presentation on student housing. I do have a question for your biweekly town halls. Do you guys have like a set date and time for those meetings? And are those meetings open to students on campus who are not a part of housing?
These meetings are closed just for residential population, just so we could keep everything more, I guess, efficient, stuff like that. Can you say your question again?
Well, you answered the first one where if it's open to students who are not a part of housing, and then the other one was if you guys have like set dates and times for the meetings.
Yes, so every other Thursday, we do have a set time, like next week will be our next one. But yeah,
They
Okay.
typically are from 5:30 to no, sorry, 6:30 to 7. Because then from 7 to 8 we have our general board meeting afterwards.
Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Love the presentation. I just wanted to ask, so how big is your team or is the RHA team currently, and how big would you ideally like it to be? Or how much more student engagement into RHA would you like to see?
Currently, I think with the executive board, we have about like 30 people in RHA in total. There's 25 RHMs, then the 6 e-board members as well. Right now, I think we're at a pretty good amount of people we have in RHA. We have our events usually take like 5 minutes to set up because all the RHMs are just very efficient on their jobs and just kind of like the minute we get there, they start getting stuff done. They are just decorating the entire place where we need the event to be. So I think right now I think 30 people is around a good number we would like to keep for RHA in the future.
Senator Gabino.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I know there's a lot of engagement from the University Park students, and I know that occasionally there is also engagement from the village side of things. So I was just wondering if any of your recent town hall meetings, any of the village residents have like shown up and addressed any concerns that may be different from what I guess more typical housing students would bring up usually.
yeah. So with the way we do engagement is a little more different at the UVA. We do our monthly events, and this is where we do kind of like indirect advocacy and stuff like that. But they prefer to more directly connect to like our admin, and we have full like building managers who work full time just for the UVA. They prefer to work with them more directly that way. But in the past, we have worked with the UVA discussing concerns about like safety, police, and like maintenance, stuff like that. Right now, we are constructing a whole new playground that is like ADA accessible. That is one of the projects we're working on at the UVA.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys for coming.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, guys.
everyone.
Okay, we will now go into our next special presentation, the Internal Affairs Policy Agenda presented by Chair Basilio. Senator Cabrera Figueroa,
Point of personal privilege.
are you part of the presentation? You don't have to ask for point of personal privilege. It's okay. You can just go. Yes, Senator Rabinoff.
Point of personal privilege.
Are you also?
No.
present? Oh, okay. You go ahead. I'm sorry. Hello, baddies. As you all remember, every standing committee has a policy agenda. So, sorry. This is ours. I know you can't see it, so we're gonna actually read everything. Priority number 1 are yearly code revisions, and
the reason we do this is because codes are essential to what AS leadership does. We cannot operate without anything. If half of us didn't have codes, we would literally not know what to do. So that's why it's important.
Perfect. So our goal number one for this project or for this priority, I gotta lower it a little bit. Creating a campus advocacy committee that incorporates certain responsibilities of the judicial court. So some of you may already be aware, some may not, but the position of judicial court as well as the chair are not fully applicable positions or codes at the moment. Responsibilities seem to have trended towards other positions, and there is not much logic in retaining this the same way it is when those duties have already been delegated to other areas. So basically reimagining the judicial court's purpose, that'll provide us use of its budget, as the committee has been rendered ineffective for at least 2 years now. The judicial court and the chief justice codes as they stand do not serve a purpose that aligns with the AS goals at the moment. So in terms of what we have in mind, Senator Gavino and Attorney General Maheshwari are members of the Ad Hoc Bylaw Review Committee, which will allow for more fluidity among both committees regarding judicial court's possibilities, making sure we have senator feedback as well as cabinet feedback or input on making sure we can make this as usable as possible. For our timeline, we're planning on working this throughout the semester. Our goal is to have this a recommendation completed 3 weeks before the end of the semester. However, ideally, it will be completed before then.
And then for goal number 2 is update and revise cabinet codes and executive committee codes in order to best prepare student leaders for the upcoming year. Like I said, this is a yearly thing that is done. So responsibilities change over time, and there's also some responsibilities in a code that might be better in a different one. So it's just seeing how these things flow. Discussions with student leaders, AS administration, and our AS leadership manager are instrumental in identifying the shifting responsibilities over time. So timeline-wise, oh, no, yeah, you already said that. Timeline-wise is the same as before, just having these ready like 3 weeks before the last Senate meeting so that there's enough time for more than just the internal affairs to review it. And goal number 3 are updating bylaws and codes based on the ad hoc committee findings and reviews. Again, just making sure that internal is complying with whatever the ad hoc committee finds. So now priority number 2 is AS department's feedback. Every AS department is essential to the organization's mission, focused on student success, and as such should be taken into account when making decisions.
Perfect. So for AS Department's feedback, our goal number 1 is gathering department and student employee feedback in order to better understand their functions and scope, as well as advocate for their needs at CSUN and at the system-wide level. So this one's rather self-explanatory, but we want to connect more with faculty and student employees that are not often engaged for feedback or for their personal concerns. This is not a intentional manner, however, it has been often overlooked in previous years. Establishing clear paths of communication between AS departments and their student employees will help bridge this gap. Normalizing the integration of student employees into our conversations and establishing community building exercises as well as student-related activities will also promote consistent engagement with our student employees. Compiling student concerns that each department receives will also help assess student concerns that they believe may fall outside of AS leadership. Some student employees may feel that their concerns are directly to their department or to their advisement, which is completely understandable, but it may also be a matter that we can assist them as well. So letting them know about that. Our timeline is much like or I apologize, this timeline is to have student employee feedback completed 1 or 2 weeks before chess, which is March 22nd. Ideally, it's 2 weeks, so we have a bit more time to review everything, compile research, and have everything prepared for chess itself. For goal number 2, we're going to be using department feedback and engagement data to ensure budget decisions reflect student impact and operational realities. Our budget tends to be conservative and lean mostly on what has worked in the past. We can be more daring and distribute funds based on what students need and ask for in light of the recent investments and donations, contributions which the school has received. We might find the productions, outdoor adventures, or even the children's center need more funding based on student needs and usage, and this is something that we should investigate and deliver on. Working with the feedback gathered by departments and students based on various town halls throughout leadership programming will be essential to determining what needs further funding. This is to be expected to be completed 1 to 2 weeks before chess on March 22nd again for 1 to 2 weeks of analysis and review to make sure everything is properly summarized and clarified.
And our last goal for this priority is promoting the Valera Nest through announcements and media advertisements so that the student body is more informed of the services offered by the offices in the Valera Nest. Obviously, we all know that the Valera Nest supports students by being a hub to provide basic needs, but it is a new resource center and has not received too much campus-wide exposure. Many students obviously use the services there. Supply drives for the Valera Nest help engage student orgs and students overall to engage with the Valera Nest. Additional advertisements on our end or promotional videos or literally anything else will be essential in the visual awareness of this space so people start using it more often. Discussions of tours for the facility or different programs across the campus will directly build students' connection with the Valera Nest. It's very nice that we get to tour it, but we should start having U100 or transfer classes also tour the space. And priority 3 is following through on AS commitments. So every resolution or recommendation is a commitment made by AS leadership. While there is value in these statements as they are and alone, it is even more important to follow through on the commitments we make. Following through shows our student body that we are trustworthy and can make tangible change. Sorry, that's fine. So goal number 1, review and amend the SB 24-25-004 call to action in support of undocumented students to address new concerns and developments since we last wrote the resolution. So the resolution calls for support of undocumented students during the first rhetorical attacks we experienced shortly after President Trump took office in 2024. Since the resolution was written in March 2025, there have been drastic increases in the violence taken against these communities, especially, let's skip that. In 2025, in June, mass ICE raids took place in LA and all across the country, creating heightened fear amongst undocumented and mixed status communities. From January of 2025 to early December of 2025, ICE detained 328,000 people, deported 327,000 people, including those with no criminal record and US citizens. So updates and new research must be conducted to better reflect the reality faced by undocumented and mixed status communities that were not included in the first version of the resolution. It's just a matter of updating and making sure that we are keeping up with the news and all of the current events that are happening. These amendments should be finalized 2 weeks before the last Senate meeting, although the sooner the better.
For goal number 2, we have reviewing and amending SB 2024-2025-005, Project Rebound Support for Staffing and Prioritization of the Program, in order to assess new concerns and developments since it was last written. This resolution primarily focuses on the Project Rebound program, but does not fully and properly reflect all of the sentiments from the program, as well as its students, leaving individuals feeling tokenized and excluded from AS leadership advocacy. Eliminating line items which conflict with the ambitions of Project Rebound as well as Project Rebound scholars will promote a better rapport and demonstrate representation. Discussions with Project Rebound and with Project Rebound scholars involving multiple representatives will help ensure proper advocacy from AS leadership and will isolate key matters of priority. For our timelines, we're looking at several discussions with Project Rebound compiled over 3 weeks. All that data finally being condensed after being received and working with those students to craft it into proper legislation, another 2 weeks additionally. Ideally, this entire time frame will take about 7-8 weeks total for the final recommendation to reach Senate.
And that's it. Are there any questions, Betty's? Perfect.
Oh, I had a question. Sorry. I was waiting to see if the board had any questions. But well, my first question is, I do know that Chair Rosales is not in internal affairs. Was he consulted in regards to the collaboration between internal affairs and Lobby Corps and the chess team in regards to collecting information?
Yes, I told him. We had a meeting regarding my assignments for Lobby Corps specifically, and I told him that we had this idea during my one-on-one with the vice president, and I didn't think about it before, and I thought that was a good idea, so I did tell him.
Okay, of course. Yes, Vice President Jimenez. Yes. In regards to the Valera Nest, is there any proposals on how you're exploring it? Because the Valera Nest is a resource that the USU does, and the tours are available to students. And they are talks of the USU doing like tours for like the U100s, but I don't know if there was any like specific ideas that you guys had. I wanted to hear them.
Yeah, bless you really quick. But for the Valera Nest specifically, I've already been in contact with them and I had a meeting with their coordinator. So we're looking at setting up tours specifically for, as we mentioned, specific communities and programs. So as you mentioned, yes, students are available to schedule their own tours. However, the time for students to schedule their own tours is rather unlikely unless already previously scheduled, as you mentioned, the U100 classes. So yes, we're kind of continuing along the same path. U100 is a great start, but we would be limiting ourselves if we only gave tours to incoming freshmen or to incoming transfers. So it would be kind of expanding the breadth of what we're covering. So I spoke to them specifically about reaching out to educational and academic programs in colleges such as M3, SSA, Project Rebound, as well as referencing potential collaborations if they are open to with cultural houses, just so students themselves feel more engaged with and connected to the space as a whole.
Fantastic. Vice President?
Yes. So, and I was going to mention this during my report, but the main reason why we're making policy agendas is more so to make sure that each committee knows what the priorities for this semester are, and then try to build a timeline to accomplish them. They are not referrals yet. So these are just ideas that may drive the work of the standing committees. So our work within those standing committees is not limited to what there is within our agendas, but rather those are the things that our members are currently thinking on working on. And we just want to make sure that we are driving our process efficiently. So in terms of how those priorities will look like in action, we still have yet to see. So a lot of that is just things that we want to work on, but the work is going to come later.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we will now move over to our University Affairs Policy Agenda with Chair Umana. Is there anyone presenting with him or?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, President Saravia, Vice President Geminiano Aragon, fellow board members, and everyone else in attendance. So my name is Eddie Umana, and I am the chair of the University Affairs Committee. As many of you know, the University Affairs Committee deals with policies directly affecting students here on campus. So we'll go over our policy agenda. So we came up with 3 priorities for the committee this semester. So I'll read them to you guys now. So priority number 1 would be to strengthen student voices here on campus. Priority number 2 will be to improve transparency and communication between admin and students. And priority number 3 would be to address student quality of life concerns here on campus. So going back to our first priority, we want to increase student input here on admin policies that directly affect student life. More students should be present and familiar with administrators here on campus, and they should see how they make decisions that impact the thousands of students that attend this college. So our goal for this priority is just to increase student representation in high-level admin conversations. Our objectives would be to identify major university-level issues impacting students this semester, just like we did last semester, just through legislative referrals and through collaborating with committee members. We want to include students in major decision-making meetings, and we want to host at least one student listening session or town hall with the University Affairs Committee. Our timeline for this goal is very broad. So we kind of have like an early semester, mid-semester, late semester timeline. For early semester, we want to identify priorities for the committee and establish goals. Mid-semester, we want to hopefully host a listening session or town hall. And then late semester, we want to meet with relevant administrators and present them with our goals. Okay, for priority number 2, which is to improve transparency and communication between admin and students. Many students feel disconnected from university-level decisions because admin updates are often complex or inaccessible. So improving transparency is essential to building trust, and it helps students understand how policies impact their academic experience. Our goal for this priority is to make university decisions more accessible and understandable for students. Some context and objectives would be to build trust between students and administrators. So last semester during the University Affairs Committee, we had many legislative referrals that kind of like made us meet with different admin here on campus, get familiar with them, speak with them. Some of them included like the library dean, the parking director, and then even the director for physical plant management. So it was really good to kind of establish connections between those administrators and students. And I'm hoping that this semester we can continue to do that. We also want to establish the University Affairs Committee as a visible and reliable information source. And we also want to make university decisions more accessible and understandable to students. During our meetings with administrators, sometimes they kind of like simplify what they're doing. So they kind of make complex processes more understandable for people, for all of us here in the committee. Our timeline for this priority would be to develop a communication plan and establish points of contact. We also want to collaborate with at least one administrative office for an information session for the University Affairs Committee. And then late semester, we want to have the communication gap between students and admin reduced. For priority number 3, which is to address student quality of life concerns on campus, students on campus feel like our campus is fragmented, with associated students, the USU, housing, and Greek life feeling like entirely separate entities. Many students feel as though that is to their detriment, and they want to improve on unity between these parts of campus. So our goal for this priority would kind of to have committee members outreach to students, gather feedback concerning quality of life, both financial and academic, and hopefully draft some legislative referrals for the committee. So students feel as though Associated Students does not communicate clearly with other students and registered student organizations about what it is that they do and what their goals are. We also want to improve on outreach, not just through social media, but through actively engaging with students as they walk around campus. And we want to make Greek life, housing, and the USU feel included in Associated Student decisions. Our timeline for this priority would be early semester to increase in-person outreach. Committee members will reach out and gather ideas for legislative referrals from their prospective populations that they represent. Mid-semester, we want committee members to attend meetings, not limited to Greek chapter meetings, housing meetings, and RSO meetings on behalf of the University Affairs Committee and Associated Students. And then late semester, we want to establish a presence and communication and increase AS visibility among these groups. So again, I just want to reiterate the priorities. Priority number 1 would be to strengthen student voices on campus. Number 2, improve transparency and communication between admin and students. And number 3, address student quality of life concerns on campus. And I would just like to thank the senators in the committee, Senator Atiyah, Senator Bewa, Senator Contreras, Senator Quiroga, and Senator Radionov, and my vice chair, Senator Dominguez, for their help with the policy agenda. Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay, we will now go into open forum. Open forum is intended as an opportunity for any member of the public to address the Associated Student Senate regarding any issues affecting CISA students. Speakers are allowed 3 minutes each to speak. Please sign in using the clipboard for minute recording purposes. And good morning, James.
Long walk to the podium. It's really far up here again. So, good morning, everybody. My name is James Forster. I serve as the AS Programs Manager. Here to give you all an update on our events for this week. So we have 2 events that are going on this week, both of them pretty big ones. First off, our farmers market from 10 to 2 out on Tuesday, Matador Square, Lindley Avenue. This will be a special farmers market. It's our first refill and repair farmers market of the semester. So if any of you have any jars or containers that you need to get refilled, so usually we give out free like hand soap, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, laundry detergent, things like that. If you have any containers, please bring them. You can get them refilled for free in the square. We will also provide containers for those of you that don't have them, but it's best to bring what you have so that we don't have to generate more waste and things like that. Additionally, in the square tomorrow, our partners from Quilting for Community will be out there to repair any clothing items that you may have as well. So say you have a shirt or pants or something like that that has a hole in it that you need to get, repaired, or a zipper that's broken, you can bring that on by the market and get those repaired for free as well. They should also be here on Thursday. So Thursday from 10 to 2 out on Baramian Lawn is our Thursday thrift with repairs. It's also a back to school book swap that we're doing as well. So it'll be our normal Thursday thrift setup, but we're also bringing out the repair vendors because sometimes they just can't get through everything on Tuesday. So they'll be out there Thursday as well. And we're working with the library on a book swap and all this kind of stuff too. So hope to see you all at those 2 programs that are happening on this week. And then just looking ahead for the rest of the first half of the spring semester here, we are 3 weeks away from spring break, which is crazy to say. So looking at our programming schedule, the following week we'll be doing farmers market, cramps, and Thursday thrift. The week after that is farmers market, save the bees, and Thursday thrift. And then we hit spring break. So it's crazy how fast it's going. And then post spring break is a wild list of events that we'll get into as we get closer to it. So thank you all so much, and I hope to see you all out there.
Senator Garca,
Point of personal privilege.
granted. Senator Radino,
Permission to be recognized?
granted. Okay, is there anyone else here for open forum? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move on to reports, starting with mine. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing fantastic this morning, and I hope you had a fantastic week last week. I'm so sad that February is almost over because that means that we will be in March, and March is a very hectic month for the legislative cycle and the federal cycle. So that'll be fun. Just for a note for everyone on the board, I will not be here in Los Angeles starting tomorrow. I will be back Thursday morning. Tomorrow is the CSU Advocacy Day in Sacramento, so I will be traveling with Shefali Mystery. If you guys don't know her, she is our Director of External and Government Relations here at CSUN, and I will be attending lobbying meetings alongside her, her Associate Director Claudia Lopez, and President Beck. So I will not be here for the next 2 days. So if you guys need to reach me for whatever reason, please just either email me, or if you guys have my number, just text me. But I will unfortunately not be here. So I will start with the main thing. Last December, I had put in a discussion item in regards to a vote of no confidence for the provost. I had shared the document with a lot of you guys, and since then it has gotten a few revisions, and it was finally voted on by our faculty senate. I did have some one-on-one discussions with some of you guys in regards to the vote and some of the concerns that were brought up and how our students might be feeling and how they might be affected. However, the vote of no confidence for the provost did fail in Faculty Senate 29 to 32. I myself abstained because there were just too many one-sided perspectives that didn't feel like it united what the issues were from the provost. It felt more like they were trying to blame someone for the different issues that are happening on our campus and were mainly affecting our STEM students, which if you as you've heard from our provost, there are various different issues that are affecting our campus. And unfortunately, this last year was a cut to our budget, so a lot of balance had to be restored, and that unfortunately led to certain cuts. But regardless, it failed. I will keep you guys updated in regards to whether it comes back to Faculty Senate. If any of you guys are interested in reading the finalized version, please let me know. I had IRA last week. The IRA form is now open. So within the next month, we will be receiving IRA applications. And by the end of March, the IRA committee will start going through every single budget and every single line to make sure that we can allocate money equally and equitably. But last weekend was the last opening for supplemental requests for the fiscal year. So we received about 8 to approve, most of them from the AMC department. So that was fun to go through. We had our AI task force meeting where we received updates on the guidelines from the different subcommittees. And the library, in collaboration with the tech department, is going to have a 1-unit course called Critical Thinking in the World of Artificial Intelligence. Some of the aspects of the course are still being worked on, but it'll hopefully be offered by next fall. And going more into the Teaching and Learning Task Force Committee, the subcommittee that I'm currently part of, we went over our own guideline for AI usage. So if anyone is interested in seeing the draft, it hasn't been approved by our subcommittee, but if you are interested in seeing the draft, please let me know. One of the comments that was made was how students are copying and pasting a lot of teachers' intellectual properties into AI. And because AI in certain like engines that weren't purchased by the CSU are still newer models, that means that the teachers' intellectual properties are being used to help train and help those AI engines become better. So the concern that the faculty had was that students that aren't using like ChatGPT through their CSU email or their EDU email are essentially stealing teachers' intellectual properties and using it to help train these other models. So that is one of the lines that was implemented into the guidelines, saying that teachers need to reiterate to students that they are not allowed to use non-EDU AI engines, or it can be seen, and it can be a pending lawsuit for the CSU. So that was one of the things that we talked about. I myself had added one thing to the guideline, and it was that each major and each program utilizes and sees AI differently. It's as a lot of us have had like robust conversations regarding AI. STEM majors use AI in a completely different way from like English majors and art majors. So one of the things that was brought up into the guidelines was that each program, each major, and each college should look at how AI is affecting their classrooms differently before implementing any guidelines or any rules in regards to AI usage. And on top of that, they need to be aware of how AI usage in the classroom could end up affecting future careers for our students. So myself being an English major, critical thinking is very, very important for our major, and the writing portion, the grammar portion is essential, especially for the concentration that I have, which is teaching. And if we have teachers and students that are using AI as like a backbone for their major, it will cause a lot of issues in the future for high schoolers and middle schoolers, because they will be getting all of this information in regards to English and literature from someone that used AI to get through most of college. And that is a very, very big issue, especially with reading levels and writing levels being below average in most of the state, not even the state, in most of the country. So one of the guidelines, again, that we added was just to make sure that each major, each program, and each college is aware of the effects that AI could have and plans accordingly. So again, if any of you guys want to see that guideline, please let me know. The AI Jam meeting we had with Vice President Jimeniano Aragon and their committee, we got a small run of show. The kickoff event is actually March 7th. So if you guys are interested in learning about the AI Jam or learning about what it could entail, and so that you can advertise it to your students, it'll be March 7th from 11, oh my goodness, 11 to like 2, I think it was. And unfortunately, like I said, March is a very, very busy schedule for legislators statewide and federally. I will not be here next week. So our vice president will be emceeing this event. So if you guys want to see him, please, please go and support. Okay, I also was able to attend the Black Student Athlete Exchange. It was truly insightful and something I enjoyed very, very much. I got to hear from a lot of different perspectives, like Talia said, not only from them as athletes, but them as Black students here at CSUN. It was quite comforting to hear that many of them had actually transferred into CSUN because they didn't feel welcomed or seen at their previous colleges, but they felt more at home here at CSUN. So that was comforting to hear. But there are still a lot of things that we can do better in order to support our Black athletes. So I'm hoping that I can attend to more events and hopefully create a bigger bridge between us and BSSA. So there's that. I also got to attend the women's rugby club game where they won 92-24. So congratulations to them for winning their third home game, and I'm hoping this is a foreshadowing for a playoff. I also got to attend the women's basketball alumni game where they also won. It was a fantastic game. They also highlighted a few teachers around CSUN for their contributions and the way that they've changed the lives of many of our student athletes. So that was very, very nice to hear. And then Saturday was CSSA plenary. So I'll start off with some updates in regards to the CSSA Finance Committee. We received a briefing on what an endowment is and what that could mean for CSSA's annual spending, such as scholarships, CS Unity, and chess expenses. So we're exploring the idea of beginning an endowment and having that become a fundraising campaign to encourage alumni of CSSA to give to CSSA to help fund, again, scholarships, CS Unity or CSSA, or even the conferences that the president, vice president, and their chair of ledges usually attend bi-monthly. So we just got a little bit of that. However, the issue is that if we were to give into an endowment, we cannot touch the endowment for about 2 years. It is a good thing because in our reserves, there's about $3 million that isn't being touched. So we'd rather have that be invested into something else. But obviously, right now it's all conversation. We are going to look into, sorry, into actually implementing a strategy for an endowment by March, because right now we're also going into budget creation for the next fiscal year of CSSA. I also had CSSA Board of Directors where we got an update about how the governor's budget is a top priority, not only for Faculty Senate and the CSU, but also CSSA, because as many of you guys have heard me say, the governor's budget this year does not cut the CSU at all. However, it does not add to our budget, which makes it a little bit of an issue because that means that a lot of colleges and the CSU has to backfill a lot of the expenses that were cut last year that we're still trying to recover from. So so for tomorrow and chess and then Hill Week, I think a lot of the conversations are going to be about the budget and just making sure that the Senate and the Assembly don't cut our budget. And then we also discussed AB 1552 from Jackson, which was statewide. No, it was federally. My apologies. It was federally, and it was a bill that was meant to have a line drawn in regards to academic freedom and what could be included in American Constitution classes. Right now it's in the air because a decision hasn't been made and the federal government has been pushing back a lot from it. And the other thing that is happening within the state is AB 664, which would allow community colleges to have four-year baccalaureate degrees without needing to transfer to a UC or a CSU, which Faculty Senate is heavily against, but CSSA hasn't had a stance on it. The bill would lead to a lot of CSUs and UCs not having the transfer rates that they usually have every year. So right now, the Faculty Senate is going to push back on it or try to see if there's language that could be changed. And then for the bills that were approved, that could be bills that are advocated for at chess. Assembly bill doesn't have a number from Rodriguez titled Student Financial Aid Cal Grant Program Cost of Attendance. This bill will ensure that the Cal Grants include a line on the cost of attendance for the university, and it would it would mandate that CSUs and UCs include a cost of attendance in the financial aid packets that students get. If you guys want to see the bill language, please let me know. And then another assembly bill by Bauer and Kahn titled Technology Facilitated Sexual Violence in Higher Education, and it is going to be a bill that revisits Title IX in the state of California and have it include AI images and include language that says like any student or anyone that utilizes AI for like sexual violence or things or uses it to go against Title IX can still be seen as going against Title IX and can be held accountable. So they're going to be changing Title IX to include AI like that. AB 713 titled Public Post-Secondary Education Student Employment. It is meant to be like a bill, the Senate bill from David Alvarez from last year that would not permit CSUs and UCs to discriminate against undocumented students and DACA students from receiving employment at a CSU or a UC. The CSSA has approved a stance of support for this bill. So if any of you guys want to see the bill language, please let me know. And then Senate Bill 961 by Ashby titled CalFresh Student Eligibility, and it is going to expand CalFresh eligibility across the state because of the cuts happening federally to a lot of our basic needs. So California is going to try to backfill some of some of the resources, and that would mean that a lot of students, because they don't qualify federally, they should be able to qualify statewide, but per CalFresh eligibilities, they might not. So it's going to expand all of that. And then there was a dear colleague letter that was pulled back from the Department of Education. And the dear colleague letter was pretty much an initiative that would call DEI from K through 12 in higher education as unlawful. But the lower courts had decided that this can't be implemented. So right now, the Department of Education is pushing back on it, and right now the CSU is kind of following it because whatever happens could end up affecting our institutions. And then we selected our CSSA Legislator of the Year and CSSA Staffer of the Year. Okay, that was a lot of information. I apologize. It was a very, very long week. This week, our ad hoc committee starts meeting today. I will be attending the Elevating Black Excellence, launching our Black Serving Institution era this Thursday. I'm very excited. If any of you guys RSVP'd, please let me know so we can all walk together. If not, that's okay. I also have the Metro meeting today with Senator Garcia and Senator Cabrera Figueroa to talk about our Metro lobbying day, hopefully, and kind of see how that is going to look. And then I will be attending the Valera Nest opening. And then, like I mentioned, tomorrow and Wednesday, I will not be here. I will not be in any meetings that are not in Sacramento. So if you guys need me, please just email me or text me. And that is it for my report. Are there any questions? Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
I have 3 questions. So the first one, I just wanted a reminder on when the deadline for IRA submissions is.
I want to say next Monday.
I apologize. Is that the coming Monday or the Monday after?
March 2nd.
Awesome. And then the second question about the the investments of CSSA? Just out of personal curiosity, has there been any discussion about investing into government CDs?
Like, what do you mean?
So government CDs are a government contract where it works very similar to the fund that you're referencing, except the idea is you don't touch it for the allotted period. If you do, that's a violation of the contract. The government can just take the amount. But if you don't touch it, they're very secure. It's usually, depending on the range, it can be from a 2 to 6% return on the amount of investment, but it's just an option.
So the CSSA, like AS, is a 501c3 nonprofit, but they work directly through the chancellor's office, if that makes sense. So the funds that CSSA gets is from the $2 that students get to opt out of. If you guys have ever seen, like, when you register for classes or go into your tuition, there's like a $2 fee and you get to opt out of it. That's how it's funded. However, CSSA has to follow the chancellor's guidelines in how we can use that money and where we could use that money. So they're quite limited even in how they can invest that money. So the reserves are given to the chancellor's office, and the chancellor's office takes care of it. So the reason that an endowment is the way that we're thinking about going through it is because we'd be going through the CSU Foundation, and they'd be taking care of the endowment, and they'd be looking into the investments. So CSSA has to make sure that they go through the chancellor's office, and the chancellor's office is okay with it. So that's why that probably wasn't something that was brought up because of the limitations between CSSA and the chancellor's office. And then what's your third question?
So the third question was about the community college baccalaureate degrees that you mentioned. So I know there was a previous bill that was passed in California permitting the I don't know what the proper term is, but the allowance of 4-year baccalaureate degrees for programs that are not offered at any CSUs or UCs currently. Do you know if the current one that you just mentioned is the same one, or if that would be opening it to all baccalaureate degrees?
I think the faculty senate president didn't go fully into it. I'll probably do some more research myself, but from my understanding, it's going to open up to specific um careers and majors that might take longer to accomplish at a UC or a CSU. So like possibly like medical baccalaureates or teaching baccalaureates, but again, I know I'm not 100% sure. I can look into it.
Okay, thank you. No worries. For the context, it's just because 6 community colleges have already started 1 to 2 of their baccalaureate programs already this semester. So just so we're not completely crippling students.
No, you're all good. I'm not 100%. This was an update from Faculty Senate, so I'm not sure exactly what they're following and what they're looking into, but that is, they just gave us the bill number and they just gave us that summary. So whatever summary I got from CSSA is the one I'm telling you guys. But I can definitely look more into it. Any other questions? Senator Vicente,
Point of personal privilege.
granted. Senator Diaz-Gomez,
Point of personal privilege.
granted. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you so much. We will now move over to our Vice President for his report.
Good morning, everyone. Good news, short report, so don't worry. I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to week 6 of the semester. If you're having, like me, or already had your exams, I wish you the best of luck. I also hope you had a great time networking with former leaders on President's Day. As of my report, as President Sarabia mentioned, we had a meeting touching base regarding AI Jam. The kickoff event will be on March 7th. I finalized filming the More You Know series, so thank you for marketing for your help, and I'm looking forward to seeing their results. Executive Director Allen is helping me with the last details for a sponsorship that I am coordinating for this year's symposium. I also conducted the student-led AI workshop. I featured the results from our survey. I had a great time sharing resources and ways students could use IT and AI resources. I am hoping to organize a meeting between the Faculty Senate representatives and AS leaders, so similar to what happened for the DPS dialogue, to discuss our findings for AI views and also kind of discuss what their policy efforts for faculty have been in terms of AI. I attended the February IRA meeting, and there, in terms of the CSSA monthly plenary in Campus Connections, we discussed HSI cuts and university response to them, as well as correlation between fees and student enrollment. During the system-wide affairs meeting, we went over the CSSA AI white paper, which I've shared with the board, and we're going over a resolution on out-of-state fee advocacy. Reminders for this week: External Affairs shall finish their policy agenda for presentation on March 2nd, and then great job for Internal and University Affairs on their policy agenda. So continue submitting those legislative referrals. As of now, submit your marketing request. If your event is soon, please reuse the graphics from last semester or use the town hall templates. Denise will be updating the event proposal soon. I already sent her my feedback. The Valera Nest ribbon cutting ceremony is this Friday from 10:30 to 12:30, so I hope to see y'all there. Denise and I will be reaching out regarding the American Student Government Association Los Angeles Conference happening this Saturday for those that emailed their interest in attending. Once again, I appreciate your commitment to AS, and I wish you a productive week. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to Chief of Staff Boberg.
Good morning, everyone. So this past week, if anyone did notice, I was out for 1 day due to illness. So I missed our cabinet meeting and several one-on-ones, which I will be making up this week. As usual, I sent out the cabinet agenda, minutes, and the cabinet report form. I also booked my space for the cabinet event with the help of Madeline, which will hopefully be taking place in the Plaza del Sol. I'll probably have like an outline for you guys next week. I want to have it all fleshed out before I throw it out there. And I also began finalizing my marketing request for this event. I also attended the President's Day Mixer along with most of you guys. It was a great opportunity to connect and network with previous leaders. I also attended Internal Affairs and Finance Committee, and I had my usual one-on-ones with Makeup Stew this week. And then on to our Chair of DEI report. Chair Douglas has been actively planning and facilitating the Matador Conversation series in partnership with campus departments, including DRESS, NCOD, the Office of Equity and Compliance, University Counseling Services, and the Basic Needs Office. Alongside her committee, she also supported the EOP Welcome Mixer by passing out tote bags and engaging with students in conversations about campus resources. They are also currently planning the Matador Wellness Package initiative to distribute care items during midterms as part of Mental Health Mondays. She is coordinating the upcoming D&I Commission retreat and serving on the Advisor Committee on Non-Discrimination and Campus Culture to strengthen institutional accountability. In collaboration with the College of Behavioral Sciences Senators, and the Cultural Houses, she's developing a leadership initiative centered on community building and engagement. And she's also moving forward with a mental health workshop series in partnership with the Deaf Studies Association launching in April, and also helping prepare for the Entrepreneurs Expo in partnership with Thursday Thrift. Additionally, she continues to highlight student leadership through the Women's History Month, Voices of the Matadors, which is a series which will be uplifting women on campus who do extraordinary work. And then on to our Chair of Elections report. Hello, Matadors. Over the past few weeks, we've made strong progress to ensure this year's elections are visible, engaging, and accessible for students. We sent out a mass message announcing the club competition for MIC recognized clubs and organizations, outlining prize placements from first through fourth place, along with a random prize drawing with the goal of keeping the competition fair by allowing each club to win only once. Winners will be announced at the elections reveal event, which will be on Thursday, April 9th at 6:30 p.m. For more information, go to the CSUN AS Elections website. We've also made last-minute updates to the elections website to keep information accurate and easy to access. She also met with the MIC to clarify candidate campaigning guidelines on campus and met with the marketing department to coordinate outreach efforts for elections visibility. Looking ahead, they're planning to enhance the first day of voting with additional engagement elements, possibly doing another jumper or considering hosting a separate outdoor Meet the Candidates event to further connect students with the people that are running. They're also actively tracking candidate filing progress and to make ballot creation easier, candidates will be required to have their headshots taken by AS Marketing. Finally, they're considering requesting additional budget support to strengthen their outreach efforts and ensure students not only see elections on campus, but truly understand the importance and impact. And then just a quick reminder, candidate filing closes February 27th, so make sure you apply before then. And then on to our Assistant Chair of Elections. The Elections Committee will be having their first meeting today from 2:30 to 3:30. I will also be there. So, and they're going to be discussing the elections code just to make sure all the committee members are informed and up to date on their duties. Tommy has also been meeting with one-on-ones with each committee member, which has been going very well. Araceli and Tommy met with marketing to discuss the best ways to promote each elections event this semester. And they also met with the MIC, as I mentioned in the previous report. They also met with Denise to discuss next steps that candidates will have to take once filing closes. And then along with the Chair of Legislative Affairs, Chair of Outreach and Recruitment, they also met with the Sundial and gave them information about AS and the upcoming AS elections. Please remember that there is no elections related discussion permitted within 40 feet. We got signs all over the office, but yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for our Chief of Staff Boberg? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our Senator
Personal
Granton.
privilege.
Granton, sorry. We'll now move over to our Chair of Finance, Tourette.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be here last week. However, our Assistant Chair of Finance was here and he did an amazing job. I just know it. So starting with my report, the starting balance account for STAR currently sits at $156,939,000. The uninside contingency is at 491,396. The bill fund remains at 4,250, and our clubs and orgs is at 15,730. Over the past week, I reviewed and processed multiple funding requests, attended both the Cabinet and IRA board meeting, and continued working closely with students to ensure they're informed about their funding status. Marketing has also completed a STAR funding video that I filmed a while back. It's a lighthearted video, and I hope you guys all enjoy it if you guys haven't seen it on Basecamp already. Additionally, I've submitted marketing requests to create another video focusing on the philanthropy fund. Lastly, the Finance Committee meeting will be held today at 1 p.m. at the AS Sustainability Center. Now moving over to the Assistant Chair of Finance's report. Over the past week, the Finance Committee approved two supplemental funding requests, one from the American Advertising Federation and one from the Public Relations Student Society of America. I've addressed a few clubs regarding their questions about supplemental funding and provided clarifications on the process. On Tuesday, I attended the Internals Affairs Committee meeting, and we had also our cabinet meeting on Wednesday. I had my one-on-one meeting with the Chief of Staff and attended the University Affairs Committee meeting as well. Additionally, as a member of the Internals Affairs Committee, I reached out to the ticketing office manager to ask how we, as student leaders, can best advocate for their department. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Chair Tourette? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our Attorney General Maheshwari.
Good morning and happy Monday, everyone. Excuse me. You guys have been doing great within your committees, and I love the collaboration with your policy agendas. I'm really excited to see how the policy agendas shape our legislative referrals. Keep them coming. I read all of them, as you all know. Everyone is doing their part by checking in, having an idea of what their Senate event is, and it's pretty awesome to read and see. Let's go ahead and submit our marketing requests as soon as possible. It's very important to ensure timelines are maintained. But yeah, let's not get comfortable. Let's keep going. I also had my one-on-one with Chief of Staff Boberg. I'll be attending the ad hoc committee today. Our academic advisement survey received 80 responses last week, and we hope to get more. As always, if you guys need more support or help with anything, you can find me in the office. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for our Attorney General? No? Okay, we will now move over to our standing committees. Oh, Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Point of personal privilege.
Okay, we will now move over to our standing committees, starting with Internal Affairs with Chair Basilio.
As you saw, I completed the policy agenda alongside Vice Chair Cabrera Figueroa. Last week, we also assigned all the different cabinet code and executive committee codes to different committee members so that they can get started on looking over some of the areas that need improvement and talking to the respective cabinet members and all of that kind of stuff. Everybody also had their emails drafted to each of their AS departments that they were assigned to. And we had some more discussion on how we're going to move forward with our senator stipends. So I'll give you more updates as they come. But that's it for my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Chair Basilio? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our University Affairs reports with Chair Umana.
Hey everyone. So during our last University Affairs Committee meeting, we finalized the policy agenda, as you guys saw. I collaborated with the committee for ideas for our goals this semester. Shout out to everyone. We currently have 3 referrals inside of the committee, the first one being the club storage referral. This week we will begin assigning senator groups to begin working on this and reaching out to maybe other CSUs. We know of one potential other CSU that already has a club storage system in place, and hopefully setting up meetings with their AS team, and hopefully setting up a meeting with our own USU to see if there's any plans for that. For maximizing campus, let me go back. There's also a legislative referral for maximizing campus responsiveness during local crises. For this referral, we will also begin assigning groups of senators to begin planning meetings with DPS and discussing use of the SAFE app. There's another referral in the committee called Reviewing Campus Policy Contracts of Safety Partners. This referral kind of goes hand in hand with the previous one. We'll maybe have the same group address both referrals and begin planning meetings with DPS and the sheriff. I will not be attending the University Affairs Committee this Thursday, unfortunately, but my Vice Chair, Senator Dominguez, will be chairing and making sure that the tasks are being properly delegated. The committee will meet this Thursday in the Calabasas room at 4 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Cunanan.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Senator Diaz-Gomez.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Okay, we will move past University Affairs to our Executive Director Ellen's report.
Happy Monday and last Monday for Black History Month, but I will say that Black history is 24/7, 365 days a year. Okay, so on to a couple of things that I wanted to let you know. The first is that internally, the managers and staff within the Associated Students is doing policy review and development. We'll be doing some outreach to our students who are employed within the Associated Students to see if they're interested in being involved in that work. I want to thank Tim for taking the lead and kind of facilitating that effort for us. In addition to this, you've already heard that next week we have our Giving Day program that is going to be on March 4th and March 5th. I want to let you know that I have put in a challenge. It's a $1,000 challenge. And so for every dollar that you give, my $1,000 will match it, well, up to $1,000. The 3 areas that I am supporting, the first is the Children's Center, the second is the Black Faculty and Staff Association, and the third is the newly launched Ethnic Studies for Race program that's here at Cal State Northridge. So I would encourage you just to share with your peers, talk with your faculty, staff that you engage with to be a part of Giving Day. It's not necessarily about the amount that you give, it's about the number of givers. And so people can give whatever they can afford, and it can overall help our Giving Day program. So I'd encourage you to be involved with that. The other thing is I did want to give you 2 of the deadline dates for the Instructionally Related Activities Fund. We held 2 informational sessions for faculty, staff, and others within the college last week on Thursday and Friday. I want to thank Hannah for her work, all of her work as it relates to supporting IRA, but in particular, the facilitation and coordination of that program. I would say between the 2 events, we probably had about 60 faculty and staff that attended. They had a lot of great questions. We hope to increase the number of programs that are requesting funds from this particular resource. The deadline is a week from today, March the 2nd at 5 o'clock. We reiterated that several times because 5:01, we won't receive it. So it needs to be in by 5 o'clock on March 2nd. And then the department chair, the Director of Finance and Operations, and the college dean all need to sign the IRA budget for it to go to the committee for review. That deadline is the following Monday, so 2 weeks from today. That's March the 9th, again at 5 p.m. Just a couple other things that are coming up. Our next Rose Report will be going out. In addition, there's a deadline for staff to submit nominations for the 2026 Recognition of Excellence Award, which is due this Friday. I wanted to also let you know that, I wrote it down here somewhere. Hold on. Oh, I'll give it to you at the announcements. It's just a bunch of events, but those are the major things that are happening. The final thing for Black History Month in terms of today, do you guys know who Dr. J is? Yes, Julius Irving's. So today, on February 22nd, in Roosevelt, New York, Julius Irving was born in 1950. He was a former basketball player. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you. Are there any questions for our executive director? Okay, we will now go over to our university advisors report.
Good morning. No report.
Okay, we will now go over to our faculty advisor, DeMarco's report.
Good morning. I don't have a formal report today, but I do want to share something that's happening in the art galleries. The exhibition A Stitch and Glitch in Time is currently on view and runs for a few more weeks, closing on March 12th. So if you walk through the Art and Design Center, you can experience it, and our students have been directly involved in the installation process. The exhibit brings Los Angeles-based artists together with textile, technology, fashion as such. And that's important in our area, which is in Los Angeles. The art galleries often applies for the instructional related activities, the IRA funding, which is, as you know, is reviewed by the university committee and includes your student representation. That funding comes from student fees and helps support exhibitions like this, bringing professional artists and programming directly into the learning environment. It's a tangible example of how student fees partially support academic and creative activities on campus. So the exhibition closes on March 12th, and I encourage you all and your friends and colleagues to visit before it comes down. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for our faculty advisor? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move back to our External Affairs Committee report with Chair Vicente.
Do I have to ask for permission to be recognized or?
Yes, can you?
Just report?
No, can you ask?
Oh, okay. Permission to be recognized.
Granted.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. For today's report, honestly, we had our first external affairs meeting last week. Thank you for everyone who was there and are not necessarily part of the committee. We discussed with Legislative Affairs Chair Rosales about potential collaboration with the whole topic of like the governor's race and the mayor's race and how we could potentially set up ways to inform students on campus to vote and to just educate themselves on the candidates. Besides that, we also elected our vice chair, Senator Garcia, so congratulate her on that as well. And finally, I assigned each senator to research more on last semester's I guess tasks of external affairs, and so we could meet again this weekend, work on our policy agenda. That's all.
Thank you. Are there any questions for our External Affairs report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move past unfinished business into new business. And can I have a motion for line item A? Senator Gabino.
I move to approve the appointment of Eduardo Pastor Marcos to the Outreach and Recruitment Committee.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Dominguez. Is there any discussion? Senator Basilio.
I noticed we did not receive a bio where
the student submitted the bio after working hours, so Chair Gupta couldn't get it out to you guys on a Saturday because chairs aren't supposed to work Saturdays or Sundays. So, okay, sorry. We're sorry, guys. Again, the bios are new and we're still figuring out how to implement them properly. So our apologies for that error. Are there any questions? Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Kind of more to the Senate in general. Oh, I apologize. Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to ask, has anyone had an opportunity to meet Eduardo and can give some input as to their candidacy if they think they are a good candidate?
No, unfortunately, I only got to meet him after the interview. He seemed like a sweet kid. I believe he's a freshman. Senator Quiroga?
Is it possible to table this to next week so that we can properly get a bio and get it and actually have the information to vote on it?
Yeah, that's fine. I just need a motion. Senator Quiroga.
Motion to table line item A to approve the following appointment, Eduardo Pastor for Outreach Recruitment Committee.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Diaz-Gomez. Is there any discussion? Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
I apologize. Could I hear the motion one more time?
It was to table till next week. Any discussion? Executive Director Allen?
I would recommend that the motion be to postpone this item until next week versus to table it.
Would we need to have someone receive the motion? Senator Gavino.
Parliamentary inquiry, could I amend this tabling to a postponement, or would that not be allowed? That'd be allowed?
You should be able to.
Okay. I move to amend the current motion to postpone the appointment of Eduardo Pastor Marcos to the Outreach and Recruitment Committee to next week.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Baywa. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of amending the motion to postpone rather than to table, please raise your hand. Thank you. This passes unanimously. Now moving back to the original motion. Is there any further discussion? Senator Cunanan?
I wanted to raise a point of information. When for bios, is there a deadline communicated to the candidate? Okay.
There is. It's usually by Thursday at 5, but to get it out to the board by Friday. But Chair Gupta didn't receive it until after Friday. So, Senator Gavino.
Is Chair Gupta informing these candidates
Over
that they
email.
needed?
Over email.
When?
She informs them the day that they are selected, which is usually the week before the next. Does that make sense? No, okay. Chair Gupta had emailed the candidate the week before so that hopefully they can get on the agenda by Tuesday night, and the bio can then be received by the board Friday.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion to amend the sorry. All those in favor of approving the motion to postpone the appointment, please raise your hand. Thank you. This passes unanimously. Now moving on to line item B, is there a motion on the floor? Senator Baywa.
Oh, sorry. I move to allocate $1,860 from unassigned contingency to the American Advertising Federation to support spring 2026 programming. Yes. $160 for guest speaker parking passes, $100 for social media advertising, $250 for printing and flyers, $150 for reusable banner, $150 for reusable tablecloth, $300 for bookstore incentives, $500 for room reservations, and $250 for food.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second by Senator Maine. Is there any discussion? Oh, wait, you need to ask for permission to be recognized.
My bad. Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Okay, I'm gonna say was seconded by Senator Cabrera Figueroa. Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Sorry, I wanted to talk during discussion. So just to let everyone here know, we did also table this specific request for a week to make sure we got more clarification from the club to make sure everything was within the code on finance. I just wanted to provide that bit of information just so you all know we did take the time to really scrutinize all the information within this request to make sure it was fully compliant.
Thank you. Senator Baywa.
Sorry, I hope this is not a redundant question. What is the American Advertising Federation? What do they do?
Yeah, so the American Advertising Federation is a registered student organization in the College of Business and Economics. From how they describe themselves to us, they are a club focused on the field of advertising and very similar to marketing, but specializing into digital and modern day equivalents of traditional advertising. And it's also an opportunity for them to network with other people in the field as well as to get internship and networking opportunities.
Are there any further questions? Senator Romano.
Does food fall under the approved funding for this?
Yes, it does. And it is a maximum of, correct me if I'm wrong, Chair Tourette, a maximum of 500?
Yeah, it's a maximum of 500 in total, but we have limitations, so we can fund $250 for a one-day event only twice in the academic year, which totals up to 500.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of allocating 1,860 to AAF CSUN, please raise your hand. Thank you. This passes unanimously. We will now move over to line item C is there a motion on the floor? Senator Gabino.
I move to allocate $950 from unassigned contingency to Public Relations Student Society of America for PRSSA Senior Recognition Event, including $250 for facility and equipment rental, $50 for roses, $150 for reusable tablecloth, $150 for reusable banner, $250 for food, and $100 for supplies and materials.
Thank you. Is there a seconded by Senator Dominguez? Is there any discussion? Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
I'm just gonna hold it in case people want to review it a little bit longer, but same as the previous one, we did not table this one, but we did take the time to really review this during a significant portion of our meeting last week.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of allocating $950 to PRSSA, please raise your hand. Thank you. This passes unanimously. We will now move over to line item D. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Romano.
I move to approve the Student Artificial Intelligence Report.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Dominguez. Is there any discussion? Senator Gavino.
Yeah, so I won't go super in depth on the report because we were just approving the report, so it's in like a consolidated form. It can be presented to campus stakeholders as well as our own body. I plan to come back and do a special presentation on the findings of the report once it is approved or amended or anything like that. But I just wanted to give special thanks to everyone in the External Affairs Committee, including Senators Garcia, Dominguez, Atias, Cacharia, Attorney General Maheshwari, Chief of Staff Boberg, Chair Rosales, and Advisor Shapansky for helping out on the report, getting it out, as well as Daniel and the team in marketing. Gave you a really short deadline on that graphic, so I'm glad it was able to get done. Thank you very much. Shout out also to the Vice President for holding the student workshops, which are kind of like the two-pronged approach that we're going for in terms of getting student feedback and educating students on artificial intelligence at CSUN and the CSUN and the CSU AI initiative. And also thank you to everyone who shared the survey. But yeah, this report and the survey is intended to provide a little bit of information on how to shape topics for policy regarding AI around the school, as well as shape topics for the AI Day Symposium that the task force is planning in April, I believe. So yeah, it is not a formal statement of support or opposition to anything. In fact, I will, in case you haven't gotten the chance, I'm scrolling to it now, but I will read part of the conclusion. Just trying to find it, sorry. It's on page 67. If you want to follow along. Okay. So this is the last two paragraphs of the conclusion. Perception of value, comfortability with the ethics of use, and preference for use among AI tools is dependent on academic discipline and varies widely throughout CSUN. Significant amounts of students from all academic disciplines have concerns about the use of AI, are unaware of the AI tools the CSU and CSUN provides, and disagree that AI is a valuable or essential tool for their education. At the same time, significant amounts of students from some colleges and smaller amounts of students from other colleges believe AI and CSUN's AI tools are valuable and essential resources. More work needs to be done to ensure the CSU's and CSUN's investment in AI is worthwhile and understood, even if not used by the student population. Concerns about AI are prevalent and must be addressed. While campus policies are deemed clear in the classroom, campus-wide administrators and faculty should seek to promote academic initiatives that cater to their students' preferences and goals with the use of AI. Should AI development at CSUN and the CSU continue, steps should be taken to consistently incorporate student feedback, keeping in mind students' concerns and varying desires to incorporate or not incorporate AI into their coursework. So pretty much everything that President Saravia said in her report. But yeah, I just realized there is a typo here that I'd like to amend, but I'll take any questions first.
Are there any questions from the board? Thank you for your work.
No, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I'll make the amendment. Okay, I move to amend the student artificial intelligence report on page 52 to replace believe AI and CSUN's AI tools are valuable and essential resources with believe the CSU's and CSUN's AI tools are valuable and essential resources.
Thank you. Seconded by Senator Cabrera Figueroa. Is there any discussion on the amendment? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of approving that amendment, please raise your hand. Thank you. This passes unanimously. Is there any further discussion on the report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of approving the student AI report, please raise your hand. Thank you. This passes unanimously. Congratulations, Isaac. Okay, we will now move over to line item E. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Baywa?
I move to approve the updated AS elections calendar.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Kunanen. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of approving the updated AS elections calendar, please raise your hand. Thank you. This passes unanimously. We will now move into information items, starting with our social and behavioral sciences Senator Baywa's report.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you all are having a good day. Happy last week of Black History Month. Wait, no, child, I think so. All right, so for my bear with me a little bit, but there's been some changes to the things that I put in my report because I've met with more people, and more planning has been on the way. So there might be like some contingencies with what I say versus what's on the attachment. So basically, for my required Senate event, I'm planning a College of Social Behaviors Leadership Access and Advocacy session for the spring semester. For that session, I'm kind of looking towards the end of March. And so the event will be open to all CSBS students and is meant to help students better understand how Associated Students actually works and how they can use AS as a resource when they have concerns or need support. The session will walk students through leadership opportunities, scholarships, and funding processes, how to raise academic or organization-related concerns, and just how they can just have support from AS, as well as other places on campus. I also want the event to function as a structured listening space where students can openly share their experiences, whether it be with advising, student organizations, and access to campus resources. And the event is also especially meant for students who may not be involved in student organizations, but still want advocacy or want a chance to be a leader, that they get the proper resources to do so. I'm also planning additional events and town halls with my co-senator, and we'll have more information to share in my next report. So for my Senate project, or for my personal project, I'm doing a leadership cultural house with the leadership series with the culture houses. So in partnership with my co-senator, Senator Figueroa, with our interim executive director, Tim, and our chair of diversity, equity, and inclusion, Hermione Douglas, we're developing a leadership series that brings together delegates from all the RSOs and all the multiple culture houses and organizations. We're kind of trying to do a workshop. The vision is to have like a cross-cultural collaboration for all students who are leaders of the different organizations to kind of just learn how to be better leaders and to learn about all the resources that are available to them inside and outside of our campus, so that when they leave here, they can be more integrated and they can use those leaderships to do better in their organizations right now and to also do better outside of CSUN. So right now with the workshop, we're talking about monthly workshops, public speaking and professional presence training, conflict resolution training, as well as just understanding how AS works and how our connections with organizations and also outside. There is a community service and active projects that they would have to do to be in the cohort. So more information will come. I have a meeting with Tim and Hermione as well as Marcelo on Thursday. And then for standing committee, I'm serving on the University Affairs Committee. At the time that I wrote the report, we had not officially met yet, but like our chairs reported, we have our policy agenda written, and I'm very excited to work on that. And then as for my office hours, since beginning my role on January 26th, I have, as of today, I've met with the dean, associate dean, to establish rapport, open a direct line of communication. I met with the chair of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and the interim executive director to discuss my personal project. I connected with the Career Center to explore professional development into the leadership workshops, and I connected with UCS and Maddie's Closet to discuss how we can also integrate those resources into the workshops and the leadership programming. And then I've begun contacting the culture house leaders and the organizational representatives to schedule formal meetings on how we can all collaborate to work with our project, as well as represented associate students at Welcome Black, tabled alongside other cultural organizations, and coordinated with my co-senator for our plans. So thank you. That concludes. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday.
Dang, hit the ground running. Senator Garka?
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Okay, we will now move over to our Senator Quiroga?
Point of personal privilege.
Granted. We will now move over to our oh my gosh, Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Sorry, I also wanted to highlight that Senator Baywa will also be assisting in terms of college events with the major fair in collaboration between the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences with the College of Humanities. So that'll be, trying to get the exact date, give me just a moment. That'll be March 25th. So just keep an eye out for that too. Senator Baywa is doing a lot of amazing work.
Wow, we only had you for a month. Okay, we will now move over to our graduate Senator Cunnam's report.
Thank you, everybody. So I have an update to my Senate event. Senator Mane and I are planning a graduate student resource and networking event, which will be mid-April, and I'm looking forward to it. I will be coordinating with Senator Mane this week regarding marketing for our event, so that way we could get it started get marketing started as soon as possible. For my personal project, I have a meeting with a representative from the Valera Nest today to discuss my personal project. I'm looking to do a toiletry drive because I know that with there's a good decent amount of food donations, but I want to also focus on toiletries. Okay, and for my internal affairs committee, I am reaching out to Outdoor Adventures to communicate how to support them. I'm going to follow up with them today to schedule a meeting. I have already reached out though. And for office hours, I've been using them to attend some AS events like Meet the Clubs, Welcome Week, CSUN Navigators, as well as reaching out to my personal, who I'm working with my personal project, and also the coordinator for graduate studies. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on her report? Okay, we will now move over to our Health and Human Development Senator Umano's report.
Hey everyone, I will begin with my office hours. So over the past few weeks, I've used my office hours to table at Meet the Clubs and Welcome Week with CISA Navigators. I had a lot of fun with you guys just handing out like ramen cups and stuff to students. Yeah, and then me and my co-senator, Senator Contreras, we're planning a meeting with our dean, Dr. Best. She's awesome. I'm looking forward to meeting with her. As far as my Senate event, I'm organizing a special event during finals. Hopefully create like a cool, safe study space for students, play music, hand out snacks, care packages, stickers, maybe provide students with caffeine as they need them for finals. Right now, I'm still deciding on the name of the event. I kind of want something fun and memorable and related to finals. For my personal project, I'm planning to collaborate with the LGBT committee to connect my personal project with the work they're already doing. We're planning stuff for the Queer Awards at the end of the semester and Queer graduation. As far as the standing committee, I am the chair of University Affairs, so right now we're just kind of getting things started, trying to make sure I'm running our meetings in an organized and focused manner and being respectful to everyone's time. And yeah, that's it for my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions on his report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our lower division Senator Garcia's report.
Good morning, everyone. To keep it short and sweet, I will start off with my Senate event. So, for my Senate event that I'm organizing with my co-senator, it is going to be a volunteer resource fair, and I hope to host some useful volunteer opportunities for first and second year students. For my personal project, I wanted to raffle out 10 bus passes in collaboration with the YDSA's survey alongside Senator Cabrera Figueroa. We recently had a meeting with President Sarabia, Senator Cabrera Figueroa, and many other faculty discussing about steps and the information on the survey. For my standing committee, I was voted in vice chair last week, and we were able to discuss, as she said in her report, many different ways that we can organize and possibly send out information to students about the governor's race and the mayoral race. As well, for my office hours, I was able to table for many different events such as Welcome Week and Mental Health Mondays. And I have also been able to use my office hours to attend many different meetings such as the Metro Survey follow-up meetings. As well, for our dean meetings, I have been me and my co-senator Vicente, we have been emailing our dean discussing about possibly collaborating with them and being able to visit U100 classes. It's still in the works, and we're still trying to have open communication with our dean and many different faculty in the U100 classes. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our Science and Math Senator Carca's report.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Last week, my co-senator Rajanov gave an announcement about the timelines of our shared projects. This week, we are excited to announce that our student preparedness survey will be live starting today, with us finalizing a flyer design, cash incentives, and an upcoming meeting with our dean to send out an email to all the students in our college. In regards to our shared personal project of creating a database connecting students with laboratories at CSUN, per recommendations from Vice President Jimeniano Aragon, we will be meeting with our dean in order to discuss the next steps and ensure we are abiding by FERPA. We have also begun creating elevator style pitches for professors and identified which target courses we hope to reach. Finally, my co-senator and I will be having our Senate event around the second week of April. This event will offer networking opportunities, feature clubs and organizations, and host a panel of speakers who will answer student questions regarding research opportunities. Beyond my responsibilities to the College of Science and Math, I presented my AS report to the Board of Directors on the 16th of February while serving as the interim liaison, further developing the relationship between the BOD and AS. Last week, I also fasted for the first day of Ramadan and attended the iftar hosted by the MSA on the 17th. Although I'm not Muslim, I chose to participate in order to learn more about the cultures represented on our campus. I learned that this month is one of self-reflection, discipline, and discovery. I believe that this experience speaks volumes about the diversity of our campus and how crucial it is as student leaders that we remain rooted in our advocacy and lend our voices where they are needed most. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Senator Garca? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move past this discussion items into legislative referrals. Okay. I have one from Senator Atias titled Religious Accommodation in Campus Event Scheduling. The request is as follows. Some major campus events have been scheduled on dates that overlap with religious holidays or observance days, which can limit student participation. I propose that CSUN establish clear guidelines and a review process to help prevent future conflicts between campus events and major religious observances. This would support inclusivity and ensure all students have equal opportunities to participate in university activities. This was suggested to go to University Affairs, and it will go to University Affairs. The next one is also submitted by Senator Diaz, titled Training Review. The request is to explore adding anti-bias and discrimination awareness training on campus with a strong emphasis on addressing anti-Semitism. While many forms of hate impact students, anti-Semitism must be clearly acknowledged and directly addressed to ensure Jewish students and all students feel safe and supported. This was suggested to go to University Affairs, and it will go to University Affairs. The next one was submitted by Senator Bastillo, titled Personnel and Supervision Training. The request is the President and Vice President should take trainings on personal relationships and professional relationships. Trainings should be coordinated by the AS Leadership Manager through ASHR. This was suggested to go to Internal Affairs, and it will go to Internal Affairs. Okay. The next one is by Senator Cunanan, titled AS Scholarships for Unpaid Interns. The request is to establish an AS scholarship to support students who are completing unpaid internships as part of their required fieldwork courses, ensuring they are financially assisted while gaining essential hands-on experience. Okay, this is suggested to go to Internal Affairs, and it will go to Internal Affairs. I think those are all of legislative referrals. Are there any announcements from the board? Executive Director Allen.
So tomorrow is Tuesday, and what is Tuesday?
Matitude Tuesday.
That is right. It is Matitude Tuesday. So if you wear the Matitude Tuesday shirt that we distributed or any CSUN gear on Tuesday, and you go to the Mercado, so that is our convenience stores on campus, you'll get 5% off. I want to thank... This is coming after spring break. Thank you for the reminder. It's going to come after spring break, but I did want to announce that Both Tim and Daniel did an exceptional job getting something that we used to have pre-COVID back into play. So we're going to launch it after spring break. We want to do marketing. They wanted to launch it sooner, but we want to market it appropriately so that they get the kind of traction so that hopefully we can increase that percentage from 5%, hopefully back to 10. Thank you for that.
Okay, Senator Baywa.
Sorry, I'm just gonna go back fast. Okay, so I'm a member of I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and so this week we kind of have a packed week. If you guys are interested, one thing on Tuesday we're having a Black Her Story panel in the East Conference Center in the Pasadena room. It's gonna be February 24th, which is Tuesday at 6 to 8 p.m. So if you're interested, come out and listen to us talk about the legacy of Black women in sports with Dr. Wilsa Charles Malbo. And then I guess this one is more of a personal event, but it's still with AKA. We have a Pretty and Prepared. So if you want a free headshot, if you want help with your LinkedIn, if you want help with your resume, you want to, lots of different things. Please come, bring your resume, bring your computer, and come support. Happy Black History Month.
Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
I don't have as many this time, I promise. So today, PSSA, our meeting last week was unfortunately canceled due to the intense rain and many members not being able to attend in person. So we'll be having our meeting today, 4 to 5 p.m. in room 290 in Sierra Hall. If you are interested in attending, we will be discussing the constitutionality of ICE and DHS enforcement along with local enforcement in Minnesota. After that, there will be a YDSA meeting from 5 to 6:30 at the Omatsu House if anyone is interested. Also later this week, this is a bit of an extracurricular, but if anyone is interested, the San Fernando Valley Young Dems will be having their monthly meeting on Thursday at 7 p.m. I do not have an exact location yet, but if you're interested, please let me know. They have 3 alumni from our campus that are a part of their organization. If you're interested in getting involved more in politics or you're specifically interested in Democratic candidates, please check them out because they will be having their official endorsement ceremony for candidates in local races. Even if you are not politically interested or politically a Democrat, this is also a good opportunity just to meet some politicians face to face if you would like to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? Senator Contreras.
Oh, I just had a quick announcement. I'm also president of CSUN EOSA, which is the club for my major. We are going on a tour to view a construction site. We're in the construction of UCLA Medical Center with Hensel Phillips. We have 2 extra seats, and I want to extend the invitation to any senators who would like to go. The rest of the seats are reserved for EOSA members, but I do have 2 extras, so if anyone's interested to attend that, it's on March 27th. This is a full day. A bus will be provided and everything. If you are interested, let me know by the end of the day today.
Thank you. Are there any other Senator Dominguez?
Hey, hey, so this is just another friendly reminder to please fill out my form, diversity and representation, just so I can get that done. Like it only takes 5 minutes, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? Senator Diaz.
Hi, my club tomorrow we're going to have really fun event. It's calling Jewish travel. There's gonna be like around 7 different booths of different ethnicities and cultures in the Judaism, and it's gonna be really interesting. There's gonna be amazing food and a lot of stories, and I want to invite you all to come. It's gonna be tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at the Hillel House. I will send the address in the group chat.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? Okay, I have a few. So I'm just gonna list out some of the sports games that are going to be happening this weekend. So on Thursday, men's basketball will be playing against UC Irvine. I will be going after my bid day. So if you guys want to go, please let me know. It is fun and it's a great opportunity for us to, support our athletics department. So please come. And then Friday, men's baseball will be playing against Michigan at 5 p.m. here. Men's volleyball will be playing against Cal Lutheran at 6 p.m. here at home. And then women's basketball will be playing against UC Riverside on Saturday at 2 p.m. And then men's baseball will also be playing against Michigan on Saturday as well at 4. So please, please, please come. And then another thing, where am I? So I forgot to mention this during my report. One of the initiatives that the Vice President of Legislative Affairs for CSSA is looking into doing is she is creating white papers, oh my goodness, one pagers to leave behind at our legislators' offices for Hill Day. So that's when we go to Washington, D.C. And one of the things that are in these one pagers is that each one pager is going to be catered towards every single CSU. So she has asked all of us to kind of open it up to the student body as well as to our student leaders to kind of fill out a form to figure out what federal related issues and policy priorities should be on this document. And of course, every single CSU and every single region has different priorities and different federal issues that are being affected at their campuses. So I am going to send out the Google form for you guys to fill out if you guys are interested in contributing into this one pager and highlighting any specific federal issues or policy priorities. Excuse me, so that they can be highlighted within the one pagers for Washington, D.C.'s Hill Day. So if you guys, I'll probably send it out like later today, but if you guys want it like ASAP, I can also send it out right now. But that is the other thing I forgot to mention, so I apologize. And that is about it. We will now move over to final roll call.
Vice President Emiliano Aragon.
Here.
Senator Arias Gomez.
Here.
Senator Atias.
Here.
Senator Basilio.
Here.
Senator Baywa.
Here.
Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Here.
Senator Contreras.
Here.
Senator Cunanan.
Here.
Senator Dominguez.
Here.
Senator Garcia.
Here.
Senator Gavino.
Here.
Senator Kachidia.
Here.
Senator Kodka.
Here.
Senator Mane.
Here.
Senator Luna.
Here.
Senator Quiroga. Senator Rodionov.
Here.
Senator Ramirez.
Here.
Senator Umana.
Here. Here.
Senator Vicente.
Here.
Okay, I adjourn this meeting at 11:22 a.m. You're all free to go.